Hello, Ray Phoenix here. Welcome to Let's Play Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage Part 18. Going to the next level. It's in a super portal, one of those specialty novelty portals that we could get once we get a certain number of orbs or gems. All the same. Sometimes you have to, I think in this game it's always the same, where you have to collect a certain amount of orbs or gems or something like that. But we definitely have enough to get into this portal. Oh yeah, it is orbs. I said yes, mention orbs. So go for this seemingly high-tech portal, which looks exactly the same as pretty much all the other portals in this game. And we're going to Cloud Temples. Sounds like something that's been done in a lot of other types of video games, like some temple in the clouds. In fact, you've kind of seen that a lot from these other. We saw like a lot of similar looking levels in Spyro 1 and some earlier levels in Spyro 2. And this is some level that's popular, these wizard things where they can turn stuff into stone, and they have like mythical creatures and they fight against each other with wands and kinds of things. That looks like something that would happen in some sort of bizarre fantasy novel that it will become like a huge success. It will make like billions of dollars in the box office when it gets made into a movie. There's this guy, he looks like Lala or something, or whatever that thing was from that Nickelodeon interstitial, Nick Jr. interstitial I used to watch as a kid, or some Muppet wannabe that had a head that looked very similar to that. Come to think of it, a lot of the characters in this game kind of do look somewhat Muppet-like. I can easily imagine the Muppets making some sort of like musical adaptation or some sort of like live Muppet stage adaptation of Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage. Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage, the Muppet version. I realized how Muppet-like a lot of the characters in these Spyro games, especially Spyro 2, and the way a lot of the characters are designed. And most of these characters, these enemies, can be killed just by Spyro ramming them down, running into them. Because of course there's going to be gems. There's always 400 gems in this level, just like there's 400 gems in pretty much every other level in the game. It's a gem collectathon now, and another lazy level in this game. This level is very much lazy, but then again, this level does have one part that's kind of challenging, and this is the one level in the game that prevented me from having the game 100% complete for the longest time. I started playing the full game of Spyro 2 in 2007, and I didn't fully 100% complete the game until 2013 because of this level. This is the one level that stopped me from getting the entire thing 100% complete. Still see the part where we have to deal with the secret agent later. It calls himself Agent Zero. There's all these rams everywhere. We're supposed to kill a certain amount of them, because of course when we get a certain amount of spirit particles, we can of course activate on the power-ups, which is something that we're supposed to get, so we could do some troll fighting and stuff like that. So there's trolls in this level. No, they're not internet trolls. They're these weird trolls that look like Pac-Man wannabes. It's kind of like how Pac-Man looked like in some of those early arcade machines, where he looks like a ball that has like legs growing out of him. I feel like on those miniature tabletop arcade games that also used to have like that Pac-Man design on them. I remember you throw the game stores to go to and they had one of those. Like, I wouldn't mind having one of those back that's a long time ago, but now it doesn't seem as likely I'll ever have one of those. It's just some novelty thing you could put on display. The more I think of it now, maybe if I ever found one of those things somewhere for cheap, I don't know, I might get one eventually. But I got plenty of stuff, and I'm already getting rid of a lot of stuff. My Xbox, the laser drive on my Xbox, the disk drive broke, so I set up, but the hard drive still worked fine, so I successfully managed to sell it the other day, which I guess that's good for me. It's better than just taking it to the recycling plant where I would have got absolutely nothing for it. And now I'm going to be doing a sale on some of my Xbox games pretty soon, so I can make some more money, so I can buy stuff that's actually beneficial for myself and for society. And not just a bunch of crap that benefits only myself. I mean, Spyro would only buy stuff that could benefit everyone else. Sure, he buys upgrades or power-ups or extra abilities, but they help him fight Ripto, which is ultimately going to be the thing that will save Avalar from the evil forces of Ripto. So this is the bell tower. I was mentioning that the trolls invaded them. Trolls! I wonder why they couldn't take on the trolls themselves. Maybe it's because they're not dragons, or maybe they don't have any milk here. Maybe these people don't seem to have milk. Because, you know, the trolls are fatally weak against, they're fatally allergic to milk. I remember that from Ernest Scared Stupid, how the trolls absolutely despise milk. When they see milk and they get near milk, they vanish and get killed pretty much from milk. And then at one point, Ernest even tried using Miak at one point. Yeah, you thought how we could get Miak way out of season. What is Miak season anyways? What the hell even is Miak anyways? Miak berry pomegranate Miak. It almost sounds like something like that would be like a drink mixer that you would like put into like your water, and it would give it some sort of flavoring, some carcinogenic flavoring. And then back at the Razzies in 2021, I think, or so, the movie Hubie Halloween was won a Razzie, or was at least nominated for a Razzie. It was considered the worst rip-off movie, and they consider it to be a rip-off of Ernest Scared Stupid, even though it's very different from Ernest Scared Stupid. Then again, those Razzies are full of crap anyways. Good movies sometimes win Razzies. And sometimes good movies can win Oscars, too. So here's Agent Zero right now. There's this guy. This is the guy preventing me from getting the game 100% complete for a long amount of time. He looks like some strong, buff guy that probably has a macro head with a micro brain inside of it. He almost sounds like Trash Man from Twisted Metal 4. He even looks like Trash Man from Twisted Metal 4 a little bit. Hi, trash is my kingdom. He also sounds a little bit like Ed from Ed, Edd and Eddy, mixed with Frost Man from Mega Man 8. I will crush you. I will beat you. I will make a popsicle out of you. Crackers! I am Ed. This is dead serious. We have to follow this guy. His name's Agent Zero, too. That sounds like the name of that imaginary girlfriend. What is which one's an imaginary girlfriend? She's a character from that Nickelodeon pilot, The Modifiers, that never took off. And a lot of people seem to have obsessions with Agent Zero. Only she spells her name with an X rather than a Z, which is the traditional spelling of Zero. I had some friends on Discord that had a crush on Agent Zero. From The Modifiers. People consider it to be the greatest show never made, but who knows what the show would have actually been like if it actually got made. Shows could really change drastically from their pilots, from when they actually get made to a full series. That was the case of Captain Sturdy. I bet Captain Sturdy would have been quite different if it actually got made into a real show, an actual show, instead of just two pilots. So we managed to swipe an orb off him, and look, could actually utilize the head bash ability for once. There, we got to do a head bash, and we got more gems. More measly little gems that are, pretty much directly linked to how we're going to get this game 100% complete. And yes, there is a goodie bonus you can unlock in this game for getting the game 100% complete, just like in Spyro 1. It's not as impressive as the one from Spyro 1, but there is something you can unlock. But then again, this game overall in general is way more impressive than Spyro 1. So how could you do something more impressive than Spyro 1 at the end? And I bet there's a lot of ways they could have added some mini games in here. Imagine that, they made a Spyro game that was just nothing but a collection of mini-games. Oh wait, they actually did do that. It was Spyro Orange, that dumb Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, and since Spyro crossover game from the Game Boy Advance in 2004, that was pretty much a collection of mini-games, like that Jumping Flash game, Pocket Moo, that was just a collection of mini-games that don't even have anything to do with Jumping Flash. But they're all like Tiger handheld games. They're 2-bit, they're not even 2-bit, like a quarter of a bit games. They're even more primitive than Atari 2600 games. Imagine that, Spyro for the Atari 2600. I brought up Spyro if you were on the Genesis earlier. Imagine Spyro on the 2600. Oh boy, I wonder what that would be. There probably would have been some game where you just randomly roam around and flame enemies and collect gems and get points for it. And then you have to, not get killed, and then you probably have sparks indicating your health or something like that. So they collect this heist stuff now, and there's those trolls. Yeah, those look more like Pac-Man from that 80s arcade game, Pac-Man, than actual trolls. They don't look like trolls. Well, then again, what do trolls look like? Trolls can come in all sorts of forms or all sorts of things. Like, we know about internet trolls, and there's the kind that go after Chris Chan, and then there's like cyber trolls, or there's those trolls from like Lord of the Rings or something like that, and there's the trolls from Ernest. So many trolls, so many frickin' trolls are everywhere. I remember I think it was the movie Elf that taught me that trolls are not potty trained. That's why I brought that into Jason and Mason. When I wrote trolls into Jason and Mason, I wrote that they're not potty trained and that they wear diapers and they're actually violent creatures. They capture people that are not them, place them on beds where they're ready to get executed. They take out a mighty axe, they're gonna slash their head off, and just before they do that, oh look, they crap to their pants. I'm gonna go change my diaper. You wait here and don't move so I could come back and murder you. And then that's a cue for the hero to escape. Those trolls are very good at placing down or trapping them. Trolls don't seem to be great in this game either. If they're really so smart, how come I just defeated them with ice breath? Let's even it over. Somehow they're preventing these bells from not ringing. These bing bing, and somehow that has causes some sort of issue in Cloud Temple, so their bells can't ring. Yeah, tell the bell this, bell that. There's so many bells in the world. Like, people name that. And then, of course, there's Taco Bell, which aren't really a lot of those around where I am anymore. Just quite a shame. Then again, maybe that's for the better. This Taco Bell isn't really the kind of stuff you should be eating every day. So now he's like, oh, thank you, Spyro. Here you go. Here's some weird thing I found on a Christmas tree somewhere. Or here's something from the gift shop. It's probably a tree ornament. You're probably selling it as a Christmas tree ornament in the gift shop. We now have 50 orbs. I think we're about 14 orbs now away from getting every orb in the game. We're very close to getting all the orbs in the game. Let's go around here and collect these remaining gems. There aren't very many gems left in this level. We have most of them, I think, by this point. I still have the ice breath on, and there's no way to prematurely get rid of your power-up. You just have to wait for it to run all the way out. I don't know how long it takes. I never bother to time how long it takes for your power-up to run out. I'm just going to stand here and wait for it to run out completely, which will probably be happening in the next few seconds. I already know there's no gems in here. Yeah, there's any more gems in there. I think I know there are some more gems. I probably missed some when I was... Oh yeah, I remember now, of course not. I haven't even got to the end of the level yet. The ending part of the level, there was another one of those wizard things. Looks like it could have been an enemy in Grid Runner or something like that. There's more gems in here. There we see that magical guy, the wizard. I like the way you talk, Magic Man. And he's gonna give me a gem, an orb.
I foresee that it
Defeat the evil warlocks. Yeah, this sounds totally like something out of Lord of the Rings. Or some of those crappy games that make kids play, those board games where there's like action figures that go with them. You have to roll the dice and do something in the game. I remember those games. Those games are always popular with nerds. Yeah, nerds used to rule my high school. I hated them for that. They think they're better than everyone else. Imagine Revenge of the Nerds if nerds were the bad guys in it. Then again, my mom disagreed with me once that nerds were the bad guys and that nerds were not the bad guys in Revenge of the Nerds. That they were, they were bad guys, yeah. But I don't think that's the intent of the movie. What if the cool, buff, jock kids were the heroes, nerds were the villains? That sounds pretty good. No one ever thinks of putting a nerdy villain. People always make heroes the underdog, but people often forget that nerds can be villains too. I'm sure there's been some nerd villains and things. I can't really think of any off the top of my head, but I know there's some. Now all I have to do now is just wait for my ice breath to turn off, and then I could go and fry that rocket over there. It's gonna launch out the rocket, and it's gonna allow it to destroy that hard encasement that has gems in it, where we hid behind it earlier. We're hiding from Agent Zero. I'm gonna send this rocket at it, and it's gonna give us some more gems. Well, it gave us a purple gem, which is worth 25 gems. There's still a few more gems left. I think I know where the last gems are. This level doesn't really have a lot. Other than the Agent Zero challenge, there isn't really much at all in this level. This level is one of the most forgettable levels in the game. I don't even remember this level that much from back in the day. And that's probably why, because it's very forgettable. It's a very generic, forgettable level. We've seen tons of other levels like this in the Spyro series, so it's not really something that sticks out much. But I know the Metropolis level just coming up soon. Oh boy, that's really gonna stand out a lot. That's one of the best levels. That's probably the best level in the entire Spyro trilogy, or at least I think it is. Then again, Spyro 2 probably is my favorite in the Spyro trilogy. That's because I play it the most and it's the most straightforward, I think. We're just gonna see the ending movie here, the ending video movie clip here, where it involves him finally getting the upper hand. He has that magical scepter thing, like the one Ripto had. Oh look, he turned him into a little ram, or whatever those things are called. They're gonna play, it looks like that cutscene from Ms. Pac-Man, when she meets Pac-Man, then they eventually chase around with each other, and then Junior is born. But I think we already know the whole lore about that. This is Ray Phoenix, signing out.